The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Open. Open is the show where we bring you the best in the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. All in the best of arts, music, entertainment, sports, and much, much more. That's coming your way today and every Friday. I'm Rina Valentin, your Café con Leche and host for the next hour. The weekend starts off right with some fun events in our Open Weekend Preview. Then the best in Latin news in our Latin Trends Top Tweet of the Week. Our good friend Coach Lynn of BronxNet Dare to Dream is here to talk about Halloween safety. And after that, we'll speak to a poet that is making a directorial debut. Then Bobby C's A Sports Roundup is right after that. And in our Open Artist Spotlight, we have some Latin flavor from the Lower East Side, so stay tuned. All that more headed your way because now we are officially open. Good morning. We've got a fun show ahead, but we're always inviting you to join in. We are live and interactive, and we love hearing from you, our viewers, that is. And if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, you can send them to us, send them our way. We're interested in reading them. And all you got to do is send us an email to open@bronxnet.org. And if you like to comment on any past episodes, you can send us those comments to bronxnet.org/TV/open. Or, we are social. So definitely hit us up on Facebook, which is /Open BronxNet Television. And of course, we are tweeting nowadays, people. We're on Twitter too, so that would be @BronxNetTV. And while you're there, I'm in there too, tweeting away. So follow me @Rina Valentin. All right, we're gonna get right into the Open Weekend Preview, starting now. First up, the Circo Hermanos Vasquez is in town until October 29th, so your time is running out to spend some quality family time at the Big Top Circus. That is, the circus is located at 725 Exterior Street in the Bronx, and if you're interested in more information, you can go to www.circovasquez.com. Then the Holiday Shops at Bryant Park opens today and goes until January 6th. Featuring more than 100 boutique shops, it's the perfect place to find all those gifts for your Christmas list. That's right. Holidays have arrived, and for more information, you can check them out by going to www.theholidayshopsatbryantpark.com. After that, the National Symphony Orchestra of Cuba is in town for its first ever U.S. tour and an exclusive New York City engagement. Their first historic 21-city tour of the U.S. begins right here in New York City. That's happening Saturday, October 27th at 8 p.m. on the campus of Lehman College at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard in the Bronx. And for more information, you can check them out by going to lehmancenter.org. Next, the second annual Love Walk, the 5K walkathon in the Bronx to demonstrate all it takes is the first step to live a life of purpose, love, and hope, is happening this weekend, Saturday, October 27th. That is in recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness. Registration begins at 8:45 a.m. at Bronx Park East baseball field, that is, and that's at Bronx Park East at Lydig Avenue in the Bronx, 10462. The walkathon starts at 10 a.m. and goes all the way to 1 p.m. You are reminded, and it's suggested, that you wear the color purple, which is the color of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And for more information, you can go to facebook.com/thelovewalk. The Love Walk. All right, and last but not least, the 39th annual New York Village Halloween Parade, which started in 1973 as a neighborhood children's festival, has evolved into a massive party. Halloween is, of course, this Wednesday, October 31st at 7 p.m. And for more info on the route and starting point, you can go to www.halloween.nyc.com. And so be prepared to check out some of those events this weekend and next week. And don't you go anywhere, because we'll be right back after this look at Hostos celebrating 45 years at the Donors Alumni Reception. Veronica Boapin reports.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? Lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Hi, I'm Sonia Richards.
It's been 45 years since the opening of Hostos Community College, and since then we have seen thousands of graduates who have gone on to become professionals in the areas of the arts, business, and sciences. Tonight, they are here to give back.
The Donors Alumni Reception has become a staple celebration for Hostos, giving alumni a chance to come back and for staff to say thank you.
We're celebrating 45 years, so we've been doing something right for 45 years. We have an event here where our alumni, we love to have them back, we love to see them succeed, and we want to do that for every student here in the Bronx.
I'm very excited, one, because again, I am the student government president, and so I got the invitation to be here. So I actually got to meet a lot of the people that graduated here, and the fact that they're coming back shows where I'm going to be when I graduate. I want to be able to give back to Hostos Community College because it is a special place where great things happen.
For their 45th celebration, the Hostos Alumni Speakers Bureau was created to provide a mentorship program between alumni and students.
To have a mentor, especially in my field, it means a lot to me because, it helps me a lot to see people, progress, and it gives me a motivation to keep going and not to be left behind or go down in life, just to, have anticipation and be my best that I can be.
I continue to come back just to see the growth that the college has evolved to. When I was here, where we're standing now, wasn't here. So I'm really impressed by that, to see the growth, to see the diversity that Hostos brings to the community, and the affordability that it brings. So I'm really, really impressed by that.
The introduction of the Students Bureau honors the legacy of founder Eugenio Maria de Hostos, whose motto was to educate our students to become tomorrow's leaders. For BronxNet, I'm Veronica Boapin.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thanks.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.
The Latin Trends Top Tweet of the Week, will bring you the latest updates in Latin culture, cuisine, entertainment, and celebrity bochinche, that's gossip. And the first tweet we have is the LA Times endorses Barack Obama for president. Next tweet. New research shows why Mitt Romney struggles amongst women and Latinos. Well, apparently both women and Latinos consider Romney more cold, insincere, and rude than Obama, and less experienced, compassionate, and trustworthy. Can we say bad body language? And the next tweet is Ricky Martin joins other LGBTQ celebrities to endorse Obama. Sounds like someone's trailing this election. And the next tweet is Disney's new Latin princess isn't Latin enough. A blogger pointed out Miranda, the queen, had a darker complexion than the other characters, including her daughter, Sophia, Disney's first Latina princess, who has blue eyes and light skin. I don't understand that. Sounds like most Latino families to me. And the final tweet is, Haunted Fun is paranormal for Halloween trips to Virginia. With more than 400 years of spirits, Virginia has more listings on the National Register of Haunted Places than any other state in the nation. Why is it that they say Virginia is for lovers? Sounds like it should be more like Virginia is for stay forever. All right, that's all for this week's Top Tweets of the Week. Tune in next week for more exciting news from the Latino landscape and LatinTrends.com, New York's official magazine and website of pop culture with a Latin twist. And be sure to follow Latin Trends on Twitter at Latin Trends. We'll be right back with some more Open.
Thing to present this exhibition because Don Jose is a sculptor of international renown. His statues, his public works are known throughout Latin America and the Caribbean and in many places in the United States. But then as he got older, he wasn't able to execute the big sculptures, and he turned to painting, which is where he began, where his career began. And he executed these 30-some-odd paintings on paper within a very short span, about maybe, it was 3 years, really, and with a great urgency to express his concerns about the status of Puerto Rico and also the status of many of the issues that we deal with today.
I believe that an artist has a deep moral and civic responsibility to be proactive in the sense that we are at the forefront of defending human values and the human spirit. And therefore, it is a double duty that we have to speak out.
Don Jose Buscaglia, he is such a learned man, an erudite man, un caballero, as we say, you know, and yet and I shouldn't say and yet, and with a love for his country, a really profound love for his country, and he wants to see his island and his people liberated from many of the problems that they live with today. And not only for Puerto Rico, but throughout the world, because part of the other narrative of this exhibition is that he addresses international problems and issues. Hunger, the oppression of women, religious fanaticism, all of these issues that we live with today.
And welcome back to Open. And before you celebrate Halloween this upcoming week, be sure to keep safety above all else. We have Coach Lynn here to share some holiday tips with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Likewise, likewise, likewise. So, all right. So, what are the things that you feel we should consider most important when actually preparing our kids to go out there and celebrate?
Well, the most important thing, of course, is particularly, as always, from a father's point of view,
right?
Having a great time, enjoying the evening, having fun, being something different.
Right.
You know.
Are you gonna get dressed up?
What? I can't tell you. Come to the party tomorrow. You'll see who. I'm not sure who's showing up, but somebody will be there.
Right. You know, it's funny about Halloween is like it's supposed to be a kid's holiday, right?
Oh.
But it's all of our holidays, right?
I can't
it's
wait
like
to
an
get
excuse
dressed.
to get dressed up and be something else.
Exactly. And you know what, Rena? It's so funny you said that. When we're talking about kids, fathers raising their kids and becoming that just wonderful father in their eyes, nothing lasts longer than to remember my father used to dress up every Halloween, and it makes the kids invincible. They become their character.
Right,
and that's the
right,
number
right.
one thing. Number two, as far as safety, keep your eyes on them at all times. Know where they are at all times, particularly our teenagers. You know how we do. I did it when we were younger, but now it's the game is a little bit more dangerous out there. And,
right.
So fathers, at this point of no other day, on Halloween, you either go with them and or know where they are, and they have rules. You be home by this time, so on and so forth. It's not an all-nighter. School tomorrow.
Right. And of course, you know, what are the age ranges, we'll say, that you're referencing right now? Because, you know, when we discuss the Halloween tips, we generally are gearing it more towards the younger kids, where, you know, it's important for the candies to be examined, you know, before you give them to them, before you even open it for them, and so forth. So, I mean, I'm just throwing tips that I'm aware of while you're discussing yours, because it sounds like you're dealing more with the upper age, you know, like the teenage,
little kids as well.
Right.
You know the deal. Our philosophy is, as they're going trick-or-treating, I don't really care how old they are. You really should be going with them. Trick-or-treating, that part. So that's the little kids.
Right.
They're not eating their candy along the way. Almost nothing.
Right.
When you get home, and make sure, fathers, that you separate those candies. Don't mix them, because it'll be a battle you cannot win.
Right.
But in the evening, dump all the candy out. You know, you go through it, check the fruit, all that, and then you disperse it out. You don't eat it all in one night.
Right.
But you're right. You got to check that candy.
Right. And so then the next thing that is important is the costumes should be flame retardant.
Exactly.
They should not be flammable.
Very important. You got to look at the labels, no question. And be careful of the costumes that you get, not particularly that one, because candles are burning, pumpkins everywhere. However, also be careful of the costumes you get for the season. Oftentimes you'll buy something that looks lovely if you were indoors, but as you're going trick-or-treating, your kids get sick and they got to go to school the next day. So get some warmer stuff, particularly underneath it.
And also, while we're still on the costumes, they should have the ability to see, hear, and move through their mask. You know, their mask should not be impaired, and they should be visible. They should be able to see through everything, because that's obviously, you know, creating some hazards.
Well, that's crazy. Kids are running. You know how we do on trick-or-treating, particularly in the city, and they cross streets. And unless they have that clear vision, some people are not watching. So that's not something we don't want to have, and we're not going to have it this Halloween season.
Okay, and then now the next thing is about the face painting. Like, if you're going to be using makeup, it should be non-toxic.
Exactly.
You know, read the labels. Once again, it's all about reading the labels, and this is about being precautious, you know, because a lot of people are always willing to go out there and get a deal, right? Everybody's always out to get the best deal, and we understand being thrifty. However, you know, there's prices that sometimes we end up paying for cutting costs, and you know, this is the skin we're regarding. So
particularly the skin, eyes, anything like that, where you're going to be inserting into your skin, your DNA in a way. Be careful of it. I have to say, from our point of view, let it go. There's other makeup, so many tons of just old school fun makeup. Just go with that one. Don't get too serious.
I mean, you know, if you have to use mommy's makeup, then you use mommy's
You're lucky
makeup.
you got that one. What? You better use what you got. So that's what we're telling you. Be so careful with that makeup and these newer contacts.
Right,
I know we're going to talk about that later.
Yes, we are going to talk about that.
Not a joke.
Well, right now we're just up to the place of the actual crossing, the actual streets, and there's, you know, being out there at dusk, after dark, you know, should be a reasonable hour. You shouldn't be unescorted.
It gets dark at 7, and you know, we timed it. In fact, I looked at it last night because of the party coming up. It's dark at 7, so you got to be around there. When it gets dark out, you know how it is. and you have to be so careful with your kids. You got to make sure that you tell them their route. I need you to stay in this community, and I need you to be home by this time. Period.
Okay, and what age range are you referencing right now? Because
Well,
you're speaking regarding kids that you're giving instructions to.
Well, you know, oftentimes our older kids take our smaller kids. We're
Right.
trying to get the parents more. We need you to come with them this time.
Got
If
it.
never else before, escort them this year. But normally you take the kids out, and so, or the family goes together. So you tell the whole crew, you guys are the leaders, but I'm trusting my 5-year-old to you, be home by 8.
Okay, so next is the children should carry a flashlight and wear reflective or bright colors at night. Colored clothing, I should say, at night. And you brought a flashlight with you today, so what are you going to demonstrate?
Actually, I brought you your official flashlight for breast cancer awareness. You know, Pink or the NFL, and we've
Thank
joined
you.
them. And this is for you.
Thank you.
This is the bottom line. Your flashlight is like your whistle.
Okay.
From a coach's standpoint of
Right.
view. You're guiding everything that's going on along that block. Everybody sees your flashlight. So if I flash you a couple times, that means you're getting a little bit too close to the street. Right?
Interesting.
You're almost giving them lines and boundaries from your flashlight. Plus, as things are coming your way, particularly negative things, you got to give them a little flash. I see you.
Interesting.
And next thing you know, it kind of veers away from you.
Interesting.
It's true.
Interesting how
This is
light
yours.
can be used
Congratulations.
as a weapon.
Oh, it
Thank
is.
you.
It
Thank
is.
you.
It is.
That's a very interesting concept. So, flashlights, everyone.
Gotta have
Flashlights. You should have flashlights anyway, based on emergencies. But I think this is a great idea to actually have flashlights with you while you're out there after dusk, of course. And so, emergency identification information should be placed discreetly inside clothing of small children in case of accidental separation. Of course, we hope that doesn't happen. However, it's all about being precautious.
I agree. You got to put their initials in their T-shirts. We've been doing that for years, so make sure they got their T-shirt, their underclothes, has something on it. I don't care where you write it, and put it in there, who that child is and contact number. So simple.
And so, before we go to our closing of just these tips that you can certainly look up online as well, let's talk a little bit about the contact lenses and how the contact lenses are actually not recommended unless the children or even teenagers have visited an actual doctor, an ophthalmologist, that is, because it can actually hinder their sight.
Rena, the bottom line is no. I'm going to take a father's stance on that one. No, it's not that serious. Under no circumstances are you going to place something like that from the dollar store, somewhere like that, in your eyes all night. And the next thing you know, your eye has vision that we cannot repair. It's not going to happen. So I'm just telling it now, it's not going to happen unless the doctor has prescribed that you could use that type of contact for your version, and they're very expensive when you do those colors.
Right, right.
Actors do it, we use it.
Right, right.
It's not going to happen.
Right. Right,
Not
and obviously, you know, he's expressing serious severity, and really, again, it goes back to being cost efficient. It's like, just because you're saving the money doesn't mean that there isn't a price to pay. So it's actually recommended that you not put in anything in your eyes if it's not prescribed by an ophthalmologist.
Rena, here's the deal. Guess who's paying for that? Those kids aren't paying they have no money. So it's the parents that are giving them that money.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right. Right. And then last, as always, children should be cautioned to avoid strangers as well as poor lit areas of homes and people that they do not know. That's actually, you know, common sense, but just as a reminder.
Well, there's only one way we could truly police that. Go with your kids. There's nothing on TV more important. Nothing on no phone, no texting, nothing more important than just for those few hours, you go with your children to let them have that experience. That's your children. Second of all, planning that route. This is where you're going to go. I see you. Remember that flashlight?
Right.
Though you don't know where I'll be, but you better not go outside of these boundaries, and you better be home at this time because there's some crazies. Freaks come out at night, particularly on Halloween, and it's not going to have it.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much,
You're
Coach
welcome.
Lynn. Now, you have a party coming up on Saturday before we go. Let's just share that with everyone.
Oh, thank you. The Monster Mash, the second annual Fatherhood Monster Mash.
Nice.
At the Fatherhood Training Center. Dracula's hosting. Got everybody coming. Frankenstein, everybody in the Scream contest, the Best Dressed Dad, and
nice.
the whole nine.
All right, so where is it? What time? Where do people get the info?
281 East Burnside, the Fatherhood Training Center, from 4 to 7, early.
Nice.
But all the dads, come out with your kids. Let them dress up and be someone different.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Coach Lynn
You're
from
welcome.
Dare to Dream.
Thank you.
And what time does the show air on BronxNet?
Every Tuesday at 8. Dare to Dream.
Tuesday at 8. Dare to Dream. All right. Once again, for more on Coach Lynn and Dare to Dream, check out channel 67, or you can check them out on our website by going to bronxnet.org. But before we take a break, let's check out a screening clip of the Universal Babe sports doc. Shamar Falone reports.
I curated the exhibition. The name of the exhibition is Black Ball, Illuminating Negro Leagues Baseball. There are 9 featured artists from the local community, and we have one artist from Detroit, another from Los Angeles, and all the works here depict Negro Leagues players or teams or events from the Negro Leagues.
What we wanted to do today was we wanted to come into the Harlem community, and we wanted to show them our commitment and our loyalty to the community by showing them what Babe Ruth did in the Harlem community, as well as his relationship with Negro League baseball players. I was asked by the granddaughter of Babe Ruth to make a movie about her grandfather. Obviously, there have been a number of documentaries and films and television shows and books written about Babe Ruth, so it was a great challenge to try to do something different.
A lot of times you'll see African American and Latino filmmakers, documentary filmmakers especially, finding different things in history that were negated, omitted. We try to bring them to light in order to, give people a better understanding of their history and a better understanding of their potential.
What we hope to achieve by this today is to be able to create a greater awareness amongst young African Americans of the history of the Negro Leagues, but also to understand black self-sufficiency and how successful we as a people have been.
This was a very important and undertold part of our history. The Negro Leagues were very successful leagues. They were African American owned enterprises, so they were economically very viable for African American communities.
Well, what we wanted to do today is that we wanted to actually have a Major League Baseball player or a Negro League player talk. So while this exhibit is a tremendous, tremendous thing for people to come, I think having a living legend like Jim Robinson here is absolutely, I think, the greatest thing that could happen to this.
The reason I'm here is that I'm going to lend whatever experience I can to this discussion. I grew up playing baseball because my father was a baseball fan. So to get a chance to play in the Negro League was quite a thrill for me. It became the pre-runner of integration in baseball because it was finally understood that these guys could play just as well as anybody. That's why they eventually had to give in and let black ball players play in the majors.
I think this is a wonderful event. It lets people know, not just African Americans, about our history and our past with the Negro Leagues, that we as African Americans, there's a rich legacy in the world of sports. And we have a lot of people that have come up the ranks in baseball. So I think this is a wonderful event. Myself personally, I love the Negro Leagues, and I've been at various events, and I just love the history. You have to know where you came from to know where you're going.
The Dare is on right now.
Eyes beheld an eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
he did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
Looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed. 'Cause this is daylight night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's daylight night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller.
Hello, we're back in the studio. Welcome to Open. Our next guest was born in Japan and has merged East and West influences in his art. He has had artwork displayed throughout the city, and here to tell us a little more about his new journey is Essa. Essa.
Morning.
Morning, good morning. So, okay, so we have you, we introduced you as a visual artist, but you're an artist in all genres, right?
Pretty much.
And you are now working with this structure called esoteric structure.
Yes.
Can you define what esoteric structure is?
That's exactly what it sounds like. It's esoteric, but it's also a structure. It's one of those things I've had difficulty explaining to people. There's a whole philosophy behind it, but it's basically bringing nature and art together. Sort of bridging that line between life imitating art and art imitating life.
Okay, and so in your presentations, is it safe to say that everything is geared towards nature?
Nature in the sense of everything, not nature like the trees and
Right.
the grass and things like that, but just everyday life. I feel that when it comes to art, art tends to be art and not outrageous enough, and life tends to be not outrageous enough, and sometimes there needs to be a little spark. So I try to provide that with my artwork.
Right, and so the business component to that is what?
Oh, it's everything from design to producing poetry shows to clothing. I've always been into the arts, mostly directing. That's probably my biggest love ever. Right now I'm focusing on poetry and getting back into my artwork, which is that's the hobby. That's the thing I've been doing since I could hold a pencil, basically.
So how long have you been here from Japan?
From Japan? Oh, when I was young. Most of my life is actually
Here.
Bronx. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're a BX boy.
Oh, definitely.
Just born in Japan.
The interesting thing about being born in Japan and growing up with a Japanese family is dealing with East and West culture. They're so different, and yet over the years, I guess, since the war, it's interesting how Japan has become more like America and America has become more like Japan. So they share certain sensibilities. So I tend to look at the world like that as well, that everybody's human, everybody's pretty much not necessarily the same, but we have the same ideas.
Right, so what would you say has become a little more similar from East and West?
A little bit more civil?
Similar.
Oh, similar. I would say our tastes. I think with the influence of anime and foreign, like the Japanese horror films and things like that, people have a much larger sensibility, which has already been going on in Japan for the longest time, especially with hip-hop.
Right.
Especially with hip-hop. I mean, they tweak their cars out. They have trucks that jump. They're beyond cars. Japan just really, really loves the culture, and we've embraced theirs over the years, so it's all coming together.
That's hot. And so speaking of, right, jumping into films, you actually made your directorial debut this year.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was last
year, right, but it's actually previewing this year. So tell us about that.
Well,
tell us about the film a little bit, Dom and Magdalena.
Let's just say it doesn't really have a beginning and an end. And I guess I'll give it away because there's more depth to the story than that. It's about two friends, and they've grown up together, but of course they start blossoming. They're like 16, 17, and they start taking notice of each other after these events that happened last summer. After that, it's this story of them sitting together after they've shared a kiss. And they don't actually talk to each other during the story. It sort of breaks the fourth wall. It's more done like a play, where they step off the stoop and they tell their side of the story. And it's all told in flashback, till they eventually get to the point where they speak and they just go on. And that was what I wanted to deliver with the story, was the idea that even if you have troubles, discrepancies, anything, especially with your friends, especially with people you've been close with, that those changes don't have to affect anything. At the end, pretty much they go and get a Slurpee. But it's
very simple.
Yeah.
At the end, they go and they finish it off and toast with a Slurpee. And that's how
it's hilarious, though. It's deep. It has a couple of levels to it.
How long is it?
It's 13:13.
It's 13:13. So where is it going to be screened?
Well, for any budding directors out there, the great thing about nowadays you have the internet and you have different ways to promote yourself. I did try to get in Coney Island Film Festival. I mean, the point was to always shoot it at Coney Island and have them screen it first.
Right.
Didn't really get accepted. I tried the recent YouTube contests, and you could say it's unfortunate in the past, but nowadays you just say, I'm going to put it out myself.
Right.
So it's on my webpage at dimepackage@youtube.com, and it's great. I just wanted to put something out there.
Well, no, it's great. It's great, and you're right. That is the world we live in, because, then before you know it, you have millions of hits. And then everybody wants, to know why you weren't in their festival, right? Isn't that how it's going nowadays?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you actually also You're a man of all the genres of the arts. You actually do a lot of performances in Brooklyn and abroad, right? Because you have your little local spots that are, I guess, you're a regular. How do you choose your spots, and what is your primary topic in your spoken word?
You're good at segues, because this is perfect. Same reason why I put the movie out was it's not always about making money. It's a lot of times it's just about putting things out there and just inspiring others. And those are the places I like to go. Speaking of which, one of the places I go is to the Inspired Word downtown and the Jujo Mukti Tea House. Now the reason why I go to these places is there's a feeling there. There's an energy there. Everybody is very supportive. At the same time, they're going to be honest with you. They're not going to tell you you're great because, you know, they just want to blow smoke or anything like that.
Well, I don't necessarily know if it's good to always have people just, you know, blowing smoke up you, because that's not how you grow. You grow through, you know, I mean, it has to be safe, like you said, and loving criticism. It's criticism of growth, right?
There's some hard rooms too. Like I've done slams before. It's great, but for me, I just like to get the word across. If I feel like I have something to say, I like to get it across, and just to, you know, give people some energy.
All right. Well, you're going to give us some energy right about now, right? What you going to recite for us?
This is a nice little breakup poem called Baggage Claim.
Okay. Let's do it. Everyone, here's Essel.
Like a tattoo, wish I met you long before the damage was done. Running with ghosts on slave ships, shipping charges not played on delivery. Deliver me to the stern, sternly, firmly, when the Coast Guard comes, drop me off to become worm meat. Learn me, then burn me, transmit the bruises earned. She caught backhands that blacken, bent over instead of removing the rollers. Instead of slipping slippers over her soul, getting over them to grow, she reversed roles, and now I'm the one who fits the mold. And whoa, vengeance is sweet. And my damages have no advantages over you. Holding you up because of what they did. Lids pop open for mind expansion. Dancing to your fashion, my rations are getting low. Blows from the lies of many men, the lines of any men that turn enemy to me. Enmity ends with thee. Believe your next will be your truest. When you find you wrecked, turn me bluest, cause I couldn't get through to you. Glue to hold your wounds from prying out of nowhere, crying, dying, cause I could do nothing to satisfy your heart. I'm merely filling the gap, and I'm such a sap that I always slide out slowly. Feeling lonely, unable to cure the disease that daddy gave, or the broken bone sadly made by an icon in your mind's eye. I might try, but I'll always be wrong, always stepping on toes so you throw bows cause you're still barefooted. Would it be harmful to be free? You're scornful, ill at ease, but I got enough scars to take it on. Break through to your deepest unsafe memory. Then remember me, come back, tremble in me. But she never seems to want me to meddle, lowering my bass to come in with her treble. Yes, I know I have walls, dear, but two wrongs make for nothing but fear. And I would gladly lay my scabs across the kitchen table if you would just stop making me eat them, like my words. So I silently try to be the shoulder you seek, but whenever my third eye peeks out, seeks out what's inside, I find it's not me you confide in. I'm just a place you stuff your lies in. Keep telling yourself stories. Gore me with the reality, okay? We're past the formalities. Now, I confess I could use some healing too, but give it a rest. You're only stealing my emotions, boo, just to avoid your own. And you know, we toy with the idea of us going through all this together, but from now, I think we ought to handle our demons alone.
Whoa. That's how we do it. Yeah, that was deep.
Thank you.
That was deep. Baggage Claim. Yes. Essel, everyone. That was good.
Thank you very much.
I was in there. Thank you for sharing.
With the Bronx, most definitely.
Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, everyone. For more on Essel's work, you can check him out at esotericstructure.com. esotericstructurecarbonmade.com. Yeah. We'll be right back with Bobby C. Sports Roundup. Don't go anywhere.
This is Bobby C. reporting from MetLife Stadium, where the New York Football Giants dazzled in Week 7 of the NFL, using the 2-minute drill to take care of business against the Washington Redskins in a key NFC East matchup in Week 7. Here's our latest Giants Insider. With the game hanging in the balance, the Giants threw it into cruise control. Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, strike again.
I knew it was going to be a big chunk of yards. Whether he scored or not, I didn't know, how that was going to work out. So, but by the time I got up, saw him running, and obviously, very excited.
We clicked at the right time, and we read the coverage the same way, and it was a good feeling. Whenever I get the ball in my hands, I want to do some good things and some great things with it. So anytime we get in that position, I want to be the one to make the big catch or to make the winning touchdown.
Wide receiver Hakeem Nicks also contributed to a big day for the aerial attack for the New York Giants. 337 yards in the air. Here's Hakeem Nicks.
No doubt our talent. We got playmakers all over the field. I know somebody is going to get left open. Somebody going to make a play. That's what we believe as an offense, and we knew what we were capable of doing.
Big Blue established the run early in the game against the Redskins, and they've certainly utilized Andre Brown a lot more this season.
It was an amazing game. That was a hard, tough-fought game. And, that's how it is in the East, NFC East. And, we're going to get those type of games, and we're going to just have to continue to fight out here.
Although the offense will certainly get most of the headlines here in Week 7, the Giants' defense was stellar yet again. Jason Pierre-Paul had a big defensive play for Big Blue. We go back inside the locker room for more with JPP.
It's our first win in the division, and we lost 2, so we got Cowboys next week, and we're going to go up there and play some hard football.
Manning and Cruz did it again. The New York Giants finally broke through in the tight NFC East. The G-Men will now head to Dallas for another showdown in the Lone Star State. That game kicks Sunday at 4:25 Eastern Time. While the Giants executed when it mattered most, despite possibly being outplayed by Washington for a good portion of the game, the New York Jets played role reversal in Foxborough last Sunday. Gang Green went toe-to-toe with the New England Patriots and fell short with the game on the line. The Pats won 29-26, prevailing in overtime in Foxborough last Sunday on a late field goal. Unbelievable game with the Patriots there. The Pats won 29-26 in overtime. Outcomes aside, the Jets played a heck of a game. The matchup leaves them at 3-4, but the smack talk has returned as the Jets welcome rival Miami in Week 8. The Dolphins Sunday at 1 p.m. at MetLife. On the bright side, Jet fans, the team has a chance to go 4-4. Heading into Week 9, they will retire and honor the inspiring Dennis Byrd on Sunday, number 90. Jets linebacker Bart Scott is battling a toe injury, and it could threaten his 119-game started streak dating back to 2004. He played only 9 snaps last Sunday in Foxborough. Hopefully, Scott can give it a go on Sunday. The New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets are ready to go on the NBA season. The two wrapped the preseason on Wednesday night as the Nets paid homage to their former New York roots when they played out on Long Island in the days of Dr. J and the red, white, and blue ABA. The Knicks and Nets squared off at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Wednesday night, and our BronxNet cameras were rolling. The two rivals battled into OT with the Knicks edging the Nets 97-95 behind their backups. We go inside the locker room for more.
Our defense was a lot better tonight. I mean, from beginning all the way through the overtime. I mean, we gave up, I think, 86 points in regulation. And, that's where we need to be from a defensive standpoint. And I just thought guys were banging and bodies were flying. The young guys, they brought it home at the end.
I thought our spacing was good. Darren and Joe really played well off of each other. I thought Gerald Wallace played some good defense, even Humphreys. I thought our pick and roll defense was pretty good.
It's going to be great. From what I saw tonight, the Nassau crowd was great. They loved it. And, I'm definitely expecting more opening night.
Preseason has been great for me. It's been wonderful. Oh, without a doubt. Can't wait. Can't wait to the first game. they're gonna make it a rivalry no matter what, you know. So you know, it's definitely gonna be a rivalry for sure. We're in the same division. Every day we get closer. You know what I mean? We have some guys banged up. I think we're gonna get even better when guys get healthy. I think we have a lot of depth on this team. I'm excited about the future.
Knicks center Tyson Chandler hurt his left knee on Wednesday night, but it's just a bruise. He's day-to-day. The Knicks and Nets will kickstart the NBA season next Thursday night in the regular season debut of the Barclays Center. The orange and blue will then return to MSG next Friday for the home opener against the defending champion Miami Heat. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. An SI poll has New York Jets backup quarterback Tim Tebow the most overrated in the NFL. Second on the list, Jets starting quarterback Mark Sanchez. Sanchez can't even top Tebow in a negative poll. NBA Commissioner David Stern will retire in February of 2014, nearly 30 years as arguably the best commish in sports. His right-hand man, Adam Silver, will take his place. Former Detroit Piston bad boy Bill Laimbeer returned to the WNBA on Thursday. He has been named the New York Liberty's general manager and coach. He previously led the Detroit Shock to 3 titles. Good move by the Liberty. The Los Angeles Lakers finished the preseason without a win. Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, and Kobe Bryant didn't seem to mind. The Lakers appear to be saving their victories for the regular season. Side note here, Howard came out yesterday and admitted his desire to join the Nets in Brooklyn. He called the move to L.A., quote, a blessing in disguise. On the baseball diamond, Yankees GM Brian Cashman expects Alex Rodriguez to return in 2013 and be the Bombers' starting third baseman. He also said this week that closer Mariano Rivera is considering retiring. The World Series is 2 games in, and the San Francisco Giants, who edged the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 7 of the NLCS this week, have kept rolling in the Fall Classic. Pablo Sandoval homered 3 times in Game 1. Pretty impressive, tearing a page from the Reggie Jackson notebook. And San Fran followed up an impressive opening game victory with a 2-0 final Thursday night. This series shifts back to Detroit for Games 3, 4, and possibly 5 if necessary. Locally, former Manhattan Jasper Kevin Lau's story hits the big screen tonight. Long Shot makes its debut on Friday in New York City at Quad Cinema. The documentary tells his story of how he became the first one-handed student athlete to receive an NCAA Division I basketball scholarship. And on a final sports roundup note, Fordham football will be at Holy Cross this weekend. Rams kicker Patrick Murray was named National Place Kicker of the Week for a 4th time. Those are the headlines. Let's hit the C-list for signs of the apocalypse. For folks in the Bronx, the World Series is on, but nobody cares. Is it just me, or did anyone think of former Yankee Melky Cabrera this week, the steroid-induced all-star San Francisco Giant who won the All-Star Game MVP and handed the National League home field in the Fall Classic? I'm sure the Tigers were happy about that one, which leads me to this. Storms are coming, the World Series is irrelevant, and sharks are landing on golf courses. That's right, a 2-foot shark apparently plucked from the ocean by a bird fell from the sky this week at San Juan Hills Golf Club in California. That's right, sharks are falling from the sky, folks. Stay indoors. Just don't watch the World Series, because it doesn't matter since the Yankees aren't in it. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C. Stay with us. Watch out for flying sharks. Ah! Ah!
I remember how much you said you liked wine.
Oh.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
G Morning Sunshine. Text me back. LUV love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back.
Are you with your friends? That's lame.
We're in a huge fight right now. XO.
What'd you dream about?
Something I did.
Are you on your way to the mall?
Lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now, these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
Hello, welcome back to Open. It's time to light up the stage with our Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
Singing since the age of 7, this Lower East Side raised Latina is poised to take over the world with her R&B influenced voice. Please welcome to the stage, Vero G!
Thank you everybody. Thank you for having me here. Okay, I'm going to sing a song. It's called Summertime, so hope you enjoy. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, and don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and you take to the sky. But until that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With your daddy and mommy standing by. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, and don't you cry. Thank you.
Vero G, right?
Thank you.
Of course. So just speak into the mic as we speak, okay? That was so awesome. I mean, you have a CD. Why did you choose to sing a cappella?
Oh my, I just like the vocals, and I realized sometimes music hides behind the vocals. I just wanted to show my true talent, and just show people that, you know, I'm really dedicated to what I'm doing, and I just love singing.
How long have you been singing?
Oh God, for a long time, since the age of 7, and I did it professionally just recently. I said, you know what, I'm just take a risk and see what happens.
So professionally, you just started singing how long?
I would say like 2 years, give and take 2 years.
2 years,
yes,
2 years, and you already have your CD?
Yes,
which,
yes.
I know it's floating around there somewhere.
Where is it?
that CD?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, it's like the Flying Sharks.
What's going on? Hey, maybe you caught it.
Good one, good one, good one.
Thank you.
So, you know, today's song that you chose isn't what the entire CD has. So, what are the other styles that you sing?
More or less of blues, a little bit jazz, and also R&B. Those are mostly the styles of songs I chose to pick, and those are my favorites. So
I just found your CD.
Yes. Here it is.
And so, question: why Addicted? Why the title Addicted?
Oh my, good question. Well, I did a song a couple of years ago, a friend of mine, and it just kind of drew to me because it was actually a couple of years ago. I actually was with somebody and kind of got too hung up on them, and I realized I had to put it out there in writing. So I did that song particularly for that one person, but I just love the song. It's just addicted. It's just a catchy song too.
So addicted to an individual as opposed to chemical substance.
Yes.
No,
that's the
right. No, just clarify.
No, I know. We find out.
So you have the CD out, and congratulations on just jumping in.
Thank
2
you
years
so much.
in, and,
Thank you.
And you're on YouTube, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How many YouTubes do you have? I mean, how many videos do you have on your YouTube channel?
Well, I'm doing like mostly cover songs. I just have my first song, which was Addicted, on that YouTube channel for the moment. So I'm actually a friend of mine. We did a music video for that song. Should be coming up next week. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes.
Right.
So we're starting to work with that, and I also did another song as well. So I'm just trying to work around people that I know will help me out with the music industry and see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Now,
Thank you so much.
You said you do cover songs. Like, the music isn't necessarily my field.
No,
so what does cover song mean?
Cover songs is like songs from other artists, and basically in your kind of style, your way, and doing it. And it's just giving the props, but you're doing it your own kind of way, basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's like your flavor on a song that everybody else.
Yeah, basically.
That's what cover song is. Oh, I learned something new today.
Hey, that's
as far as the term. Awesome. Beautiful.
Thank
you do have a beautiful voice. Thank you so much for sharing it with us
so much.
here on set. Vero G. Woo! All right. Once again, for more on Vero G, you can check out her Twitter at Vero2884 or her YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Vero2882884. Yes, did you want to say something? Mm-hmm.
I wanted to mention that I have a
Okay.
Where it's going to be on 2240 West 54th Street, and I'm going to do performance with other artists as well. It starts at 7 o'clock to 10 p.m. If you guys are welcome to come and see how I just perform and everything else.
Beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
And I got to give a shout out.
Okay, go ahead. Do your shout out real quick because we're running out.
Okay, first my mom. I want to thank her for everything. She influenced me for everything. And my dad, who's not here, but I want to thank them. My homeboy, email things. I hope you're watching. From Monroe College, and my girl from Salina, and that's it for now.
Awesome. It's so nice for you to acknowledge everyone. Vero G is rocking it at Iguanas tomorrow, people, so check her out. 7 to 10. All right, so that is all the time we have for today. We want to thank all of our guests for stopping by and our crew for their efforts. We also like to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in and streaming in. If you missed any of the show today, remember the Recablecast happens tonight at 5, again at 10, and throughout the entire weekend. Past episodes are available on demand by going to BronxNet.org/TV/open. Once again, I'm Rina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, have a great, fantastic, and safe weekend and Halloween. And as always, may the universe provide peace, prosperity, and love. Mwah. Adios!
These things we count on every day started as ideas. Ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support my